Hello, good evening out there to all of my Facebook friends, clients, family, and the like. I'm Jonathan Bengal, host of Naked Tax Talk, coming to you from my new location here in my dining room, I should say. We moved out of the office. I sent home my employees earlier this week to help minimize the contagiousness of the coronavirus. And so I'm coming to you from my living room, and I just want to just show you a couple of things. Here's my space. This is my new space here. And oh, you almost saw my underskirts, but just saying. So some of you recognize me from stage. Some of you recognize me showing up in just this fabulous jacket, which, as we know, represents my bathrobe, so to speak. And anyway, so I have a really amazing guest on my show. By the way, I'll address something in a minute, but I have a guest that's going to be here right now. It is my Auntie Sandy, and her and I, we go back. Well, we go back since forever, babies. Let's be real here. And she's coming live from San Antonio, Texas. Woohoo! So for those of you living in Texas, especially my friends living in the Houston area and whatnot, check it out. You can meet my auntie. She's just like across the street from you guys. So anyways, I'm going to bring her on right now. We're just going to have a conversation, a cash conversation about whatever. And her instructions to me before we got on this show was, JB, John. By the way, that's my nickname. That's what she calls me. She's the only one who's called me this name. But she says, John, I just want to learn. I just want to know whatever I can learn. So I'm going to bring her on because she's a nugget full of wisdom too. In case you're curious, it is a thing that runs in the blood. So I'm going to bring her on right now.
Oh
All right.
God,
So hi, Auntie Sandy. Welcome to my show.
love you.
Yes. So Auntie Sandy, tell us who you are. Tell us like what makes you so awesome.
Okay, well, of course, y'all know that I am John's favorite Auntie Sandy. And yes, I call
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
John since he was a little baby boy, and I cannot call him Jonathan for some reason.
It's
Just
John.
John. But yes, I live in San Antonio with my honey bunny who's watching TV right now because he's not working till now. We found out to the probably the middle of April he can't go to work.
Oh.
So yeah, but it's fun. We don't get tired with each other. We make the best of it.
What's your guys' technique?
Well,
10 feet space.
10 feet space. Did you hear
10 feet, 10 feet. Hey, listen,
He's lying.
my husband's in the front. My husband has his own living room and his own bathroom. I have my own living room, my own bathroom too.
Aw.
So it works out well.
We do air hugs in here, but we're still good. Last night we do air hugs.
Air hugs.
Yes, and then Isaiah, he's at work. He's working the night shift right now. So, but when he comes home, he goes to sleep in his room, so we don't get to see him till the evening time. But yeah, but when he wakes up again, air hug, air hug.
Oh my gosh.
So
So
yeah.
they're making, so he's still working at the plant. So your son works, does he still work at Toyota?
Yes, he still works at the plant, but he's works outside. He's like a plant engineer.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
he still gets to work, but tonight will be his last night, and then he'll come back. He'll be off for the next I think it's like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm saying hello to Uncle Ron back there. I saw him waving. Get over here. You think you're gonna get away from camera time? Get your ass over here. Let me
I
say
know.
hello.
He didn't want to put on the robe. He didn't want to wear a robe,
What's up with that? You gotta be wearing a bathrobe.
and I didn't want to wear
Yes.
mine because then I was gonna go to bed for reals.
You don't really fall asleep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's funny. I mean, so Auntie, I'm just like so happy that you're here. So, out of curiosity, have you seen my show before?
I've seen parts of it. Yes.
Yeah.
So I love it. I did subscribe when I first saw it. I was like, oh my God, only because I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
So those of you who are watching, make sure you subscribe because this is so fun to watch. And John, you're very educational, so I learn a lot from you. And although I don't have a business, but I like to learn a lot. And then you're so funny. And I'm like, oh my God, I like to watch you because I feel like I'm with my family because everybody's like, all my family. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Most all your uncles and aunties are all fun. They're funny.
Yes. It's part of the genetics, so especially the
It
ojas,
really
the eyes.
is. And the talking, blah, 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 we talk too much.
Yes. This is where we get it. Okay, so what are you has the coronavirus affected your guys' lifestyle by any chance?
Not at all. Thank God. No, we are obeying the law, the rules and stuff. So we're staying home. But we
Mm-hmm.
do go. Like today we had to step out and go to the store and stuff. So we wear our gloves and we have our hand sanitizers. So, but yeah, we're doing great as far as family members. I know that my husband has a cousin that is a doctor
Mm-hmm.
in El Paso. He's a trauma doctor, and
Oh,
he
the
did.
peanut gallery. Sorry, we have a peanut gallery. They're
That's okay.
commenting.
I have my three babies here too.
Okay.
Um, but anyway, yeah, his cousin Omar is now he has the virus.
Oh,
So he,
wow.
yeah. So, but again, he's a trauma doctor. So, but all our other cousins that we know of that are doctor or nurses or work in the medical field, I haven't heard anything negative yet. Thank God.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my clients, he's an emergency room doctor. He lives here in Arizona, but he is contracted to work in Wisconsin. And
Oh.
so I haven't heard from him actually. Now that I think about it, hey, I gotta reach out to him and see how he's doing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
interesting
So
because go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, our neighbors who live across the street from us, we just wave and we talk from the driveways. How you guys doing? It's funny. And normally we get real close to each other and we talk.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're all on our driveway waving and talking. It's kind of funny, but it's fun.
It's changed it up. By the way, cheers, cheers, cheers. I'm
Yes.
having a beer with you, so we're drinking together. So
Cheers.
cheers. By the
My
way,
niece left this here, so I'm drinking it now.
hey, leave the booze. You gotta have to drink it. And by the way, this is for the record. This is the first time that you guys are catching me drinking on my show. Normally I don't. So with my auntie, I'm having a drink. So
Yes, I'm
cheers.
drinking a Smirnoff, I think is what it's called, right? Yeah.
And I'm drinking a Blue Moon that apparently has left something on the bottom of this. I don't know what it is. Oh well.
Uh-oh.
Whatever.
Those are
They're good. As well, I found out it's a Hefeweizen. So I'm not a beer drinker per se, but
Yeah.
I learned that I guess the type of beer that it is a Hefeweizen. And if I go to a bar and I'll say like, "Do you guys have Blue Moon?" and of course they're like, and then I'm like, "Okay, how about a Hefeweizen?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." And it turns out
Wow.
that Hefeweizen, which is the type of beer, is what I like. Who would have thought?
Okay. Wow.
So, like, who would have thought?
Ron says it sounds German.
Hefeweizen. Ja, das ist
Yeah.
gut, ja. So, any of my German friends out there, I'm sure you guys can all relate, yeah. So,
Oh, and you know what? I found out today, John, that I was going to go to the Valley. I don't know if you heard that Desiree moved back to the Valley.
Desiree is her daughter. It's for those people out there who aren't, if you're not in the loop here, let me fill you in. Desiree
Yes.
is her oldest daughter.
Oh,
Yes.
I miss her. She moved back home to the Valley, and I was gonna go there this weekend because she's going like crazy right now because she's working from home,
Mm-hmm.
and her kids are home and they're have to do homeschooling. So she was venting yesterday, and she's like, "Mom, I don't know how to help them because the curriculum is like way different than when we were going to school.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that something?" And
Yeah.
she's like, I'm so lost with her education. And then I don't even have time to teach because she's got to be working on, she's clocked in at work and she's got to be on,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that's a burden.
It
She's-
really
she's-
is.
She's not alone. She's not
I
alone.
know. And I don't know if you heard also that now the dads don't have, my grandsons, they lost their father.
I saw that. My condolences, by the way.
Thank you. And so that makes it even harder for her because she doesn't have no help. Everybody's going to stay home.
Yep.
So she's got no help at all. So she's like, Mom, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, I'll go over there this weekend to go help you. But I found out today that at the checkpoint, they're not letting nobody in or out.
Oh, they're not letting anybody in and out or out.
So if I go to the Valley, I think I could make it to the Valley, but I can't come back to San Antonio.
Oh, you'd be stuck.
I'll be stuck. Only the truck drivers can go through the checkpoint.
Wow. That is so crazy. Have you guys noticing anything changing at the grocery stores or anything like that?
Everybody's still hoarding.
Yeah, everybody's still hoarding all the food.
Okay,
So what
well,
I do, we go to a small little local store, a little meat market.
here comes the tip, people, and just the tip. Okay, so what's the tip?
Go to the small little meat market stores that nobody ever wants to go to.
The carnecitas that everyone's afraid to go to because they're
Carniceras.
Mexican. They're in the Mexican hood,
Yes,
and they're all
right.
afraid to
And
go
they
there.
have toilet paper.
they had toilet paper. If you're okay with going into the Mexican hood, I know I would be
Yeah.
okay with it.
Brown
Let's
power
go.
over here. Brown power. But let me tell you, girl. Let me tell you, they have meat, they have arroz, they have frijoles. Let me tell you, they even have beer. So
And they have beer.
for those who want to drink. But yes, nobody's going to the carniceras.
Everybody's
Uh,
wanting to
Go to the big
stores,
to the supermarkets.
but yet you realize the meat markets don't get as much business, but they
Wow.
have everything there. They have
Wow.
Everything. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean,
You heard it here
totally.
first on Naked Tax Talk Raw with my auntie Sandy. Go to the carnicerías. That's where you're going to
Yes,
find your
right.
meat.
You're gonna find all the meats, all the produce, toilet paper, and the sides: mashed potatoes, rice and beans.
Sometimes
They
you'll
have.
see eggs. You'll find eggs there.
You might even find dairy. There was milk there today.
Yeah, there was.
Oh, it's funny you say that. So I went to, I had to go to, I didn't really want to go to Wally World, but I had to get some new composition books. So
Uh-huh.
I turned these into my, these are my visual board journals that I write in, and I just doodle. I just allow my brain to just go. And I have a vision coach that I work with, and it's all about just doodling. And what I've discovered is it opens up our mind, it opens up our spirit, opens up everything. And from the drawings, we begin to connect with our soul in a way. And what I find is that I call it the magic book because I draw things in here that come true. Like
Yeah.
I can't explain it. Like I just cannot.
I think why it works, John, is because when you're writing or you're drawing, you're being so honest. Your true feelings are coming out of your heart and your heart.
Yes.
And it's not a test. No one's gonna grade you for it. So
no one's
that's
gonna judge you.
Exactly. So that's why it's very helpful. A lot of counselors use that for children. I'm learning this too because of Alex, my grandson. Now that his daddy passed away, he came home with a package from school, and his counselor asked him, "Would you like to talk about your feelings to me, or you want to write them down?" So he said, "I want to write them down." So and when he told me that, I was like, "That is so true because no one's gonna judge you. It's not a test. No one's gonna go over it. You're writing your true feelings."
Yes.
So I like that you're doing that.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny you say that. So you know me. You've known me my whole life, and I know that I've got journals that go all the way back to when I was 14 years old, and it's where the little voice in my head, the one. So I now call that little voice in our head. Now I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, so I don't deem to be one, but that little voice that I hear, I often think of that as the subconscious mind. And that's the voice that's been trained to say negative shit to us. It's been trained to say, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not whatever enough.
Right.
And I broke that chain not long ago by one, I call it a simple technique, but it's actually not that simple. And the technique that I use, believe it or not, and I drew it in this book before I started doing it, okay? My magic book.
Wow.
And it is, as soon as I find the picture, here you go. It is called, oh, you can't really see it, but it's basically me looking back at myself in the mirror. And what I discovered one day, I was in my room and I was like, I think I'm gonna do a little deep meditation and whatever else, because we're on a path here. And think about this for a moment. From the day that we were born, we've been put on a purpose, on a mission. And for some of us, we've been put here to support others and to love others unconditionally. For others, we've been put here to push other people into new spaces. Like we're all been brought here for different reasons in life. Right. Exactly. So I'm looking in the mirror and check this out. You want to know how powerful God is or the universe is or whatever your higher power is? So I set the phone to record and I'm looking in the mirror and I start to say, Hi, Jonathan. How are you? How are you? How are you? And I go on to this thing and I go, you were brought here for a purpose in life. You were brought here to go and to suffer, to feel what it was like to just live off of rice and beans and tortillas. And quite honestly, with this pandemic going around, I was like, oh, that's simple. I grew up with this. I grew up
Yay.
with not knowing what I was going to eat. Like that was
That's
simple. It
right.
was beans and rice. You know,
There you go.
like the idea of having to wear the same clothes over every single day, year after year, not a problem. I did that my whole
We did it all
childhood.
the time when we were
We did it
kids.
all the time, right? So I started like having this conversation with myself, like, this is your purpose. So I don't even remember what I said to myself. I just
Wow.
remember going, the moment I said, your purpose in this life is to, and I just kept talking. I have no memory of what I said to myself. The the audio recording recorded for 23 minutes and it recorded nothing, silence.
Wow.
And I said, okay, I just wasn't meant to record that yet for whatever
Mhm.
that yet was. So then I started taking showers. What do I mean? I just started. Oh my God, I must stink that bad. Ask, boy, do I smell that bad? So I just like,
Be
so I go,
honest, Blaine.
be honest, Blaine. Am I really that stinky? Actually, he does say that my underarms stink a lot. So I guess I do believe. So I'm like, okay. So I started like when I started noticing in the mirror, I would judge myself. I'd be like, oh, my hair's turning gray and I'm losing my hair and all those negative things. And then I started like instead of saying negative things, I started saying things like, I love your smile, I love your
Yeah.
teeth, I love your whatever, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
eventually, every day I started doing this. I do it every day to this day. I say something nice about myself. And
Good.
then check this out, Thea. This is what I figured out. The person that you are looking at, that is the reflection looking back at you,
Yes, right.
is actually our soul.
Yes, right.
Because the person that's looking back at you, the reflection, has never been told that they're
Mhm.
ugly, that they're skinny,
Right.
that they're fat, that they're old, that they're too young, that they're bald, that they're too hairy. They've
Right.
never been, no one has ever said anything to your soul. Now,
Mhm.
this physical body that we walk around
Right.
in, hell fucking yeah, since we were born,
Yeah.
we've been told, right?
That's
And I
right.
started going, oh, okay then. So if I can just get into tune with the positive side of my life and
Yes.
the voice, the world will
Yeah.
change.
Exactly. And it's so easy to reject all the negativity around you. It's
Yes.
so easy. It becomes easy
Yes.
because you're so focused on the positive that the negative becomes like poison to you.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be around it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I know. And
Mm.
talking about those voices you got to talk to yourself. I do it
Yes.
all the time, but mine is issues because I'm trying to lose weight.
Uh-huh.
So let me tell you, I'm losing some pounds here, but when I go to that store and I see that donut, as I'm grabbing that donut, I'm literally talking to myself out loud. Like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously, you just lost 5 pounds. You're gonna gain another 5 just eating one donut. So I'm kind of backing away from it,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm walking to the car. Now I'm in the street wheel crying because like I want my donut. But I have to remind. I have the ability inside of me to say no, you know. But we have to speak to ourselves that way, you
We
know.
do.
We
We
have to.
do.
And even though we don't feel it sometimes, maybe we don't feel like every day I say, today I'm not gonna give nobody permission to ruin my day.
Love it.
So, and if or I'm not gonna allow, to get angry or whatever. And then when I'm feeling it, I say to myself, no, I need to talk to myself. But it's so easy just to like let it go
Mm-hmm.
because you're so focused on the good already, and again, if you don't feel it, you don't see it, but it's not how we feel. We gotta let go of the emotions. It's what we know.
Yes.
So we know that
Yes.
we know we can, and we will.
Yes. Yes. Having the faith that
Yeah.
that things will get better. It's funny. So I drew this drawing about 2 days, 3 days ago as part of my doodling process. And what I was grappling with was confidence. And we
Hmm.
do this all the time, right? Like you got to have some confidence to get on here and go live and chit chat about whatever.
Girl, you gotta fix your tiara every day. When you wake up
Wait,
in the morning, fix that tiara
fix
and be
that tiara.
confident.
I love it. Fix that tiara.
That's right. I
I
always
don't
do
even know
that in the mornings.
how to spell tiara. Anyways, Tiera, tiara. I don't know how
Yeah.
to spell tiara.
Fix your
I don't
tiara
know.
every morning, and that's how you get so much confidence.
Oh my god, I like that. Even if it's like I'm gonna misspell it, but who cares? Oops,
Yeah, who cares?
wrong banner, wrong banner. Okay, because I love what you just said. Fix your tiara.
Every
I don't know.
morning when you wake up.
Every morning when you wake up. Auntie Sandy.
Yes. And you know what? When you fix that tiara, guess what? The the boldness inside of you, right? The champion that's inside of you rises up with you, and then you can go anywhere you want with that confidence, knowing who you are because you fix a tiara. Let me tell you, it works, John. John, I can tell you, every 2 years I get new cars. I even shop now in the showroom. I don't even the salespeople already know me. When I walk in there, they already know. Oh, she doesn't shop outside. And guess what? I don't even have a job. And I get what I want. They pay my cars. They're like, okay, what do you want me to say? I'm
Oh
telling
my
you.
God, I love that. You don't even have a job. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna put in quotations. I love this. I love this. This is great. I don't even have a job and I get what I want. I
That's
love
right.
that.
That's how confident I am. They already know me. When I walk in there and they see me fixing my tiara, even when I walk in the building, I'm going like this already. Like, and the sales guy walks to even the owner comes out, huh, honey? My husband's a witness right here. He saw this last month. We went in there and the owner comes out. How are you, Miss Arabia? See, they already know me.
Yeah.
They know me. They bow down to me and they tell me, "Do you see a car in the showroom already? Which do you want? We'll see you in 2 years." They already know me. Every 2 years
Wow.
for a new car. And then,
Wow.
so fix your tiara every morning.
Fix your tier. Listen, if that is the word of the day, that is the coin word right there. Fix. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know if you're an author or not, but for some reason, I feel like that is going to be one amazing title for a book.
Oh my
Fix your
God, it's
tiara
tiara of
every
the
day.
day. Yeah.
I like that because I'm working on a book called The ABCs of Deductions, an
Uh-huh.
entrepreneur's guide to write off. So it's going to be, we're launching it hopefully in the next 30 days. Right now, the editors are working on it. And I write it from a very simplified point of view. Like, for example, the arching theme is to teach business owners how to think, how to move from the position of the government's my enemy and they want my money to the government is my friend and they
Mm-hmm.
want me to be successful, especially if I'm self-employed. And I
Right.
get asked questions every single day. JB, what can I deduct? And it's so repetitive that I'm always like, well, depends, blah, blah, blah. And so I just one day sat down and I just wrote this book, The ABCs. It came to me actually 3 weekends ago. I was in San
Wow.
Diego. And lately I've been working on as you know, maybe you see it, but I've been working on my self-realizations myself, on me,
Mm-hmm.
because let's be real, who's going to take care of who at the end of the day but me?
Right.
Right? Just like you and so forth. And
Yeah.
so I'm sitting at a conference, and a conference I've been to several times. And so I already kind of knew what was happening and everything. And all of a sudden, my pen hits the book, the journal, and I start writing the book. And at first, I just wrote it. It was going to be just like A's for auto, and then all the things under automobile, like, your maintenance, your servicing, your windshield wipers when they go out, your registration, et cetera, et cetera. And then B is for like bank charges. And I was going to just go down the letter. Well, at about the letter M for meals, something happened. And again, universe spoke to me. And I started writing M for meals as a story. And I started saying, Uncle Sam, that's how I refer to him in the book. I call him Uncle Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Sam, you guys don't have an auntie. You don't have an auntie Texas, but we have an
How
auntie
sad.
Arizona. I know, right? So Uncle Sam, he says to us, I go, Uncle Sam, he, your daughter's commenting. I got to show it.
Oh.
Desi's saying, nice shirt, woman.
Oh. It belongs to her. That's why
Ah!
I stole it from her.
Desi, here's the thing, Desiree. I would love for you to get on this call. You got to get on this call right now. And I'm going to send you a Facebook message right now. So get your butt on Facebook Messenger. Desiree, I'm talking to you, woman. Desiree, where are you, Desiree? How come I can't pull up your name? Well, Des, where are you? There you are. Desiree, I'm sending you a link. I want you to come join my show right now. Get your ass in here. All right. So what I was saying is M is for meals. Oh, what happened? I was looking over here. M is for meals. And I said, this, Uncle Sam fundamentally understands the importance of saying thank you. That he allows you to take your your client, your potential clients, your business partner, your partners for business. I just said that. Your referral partners, your referral clients, you name it. He lets you take them to lunch, and if you want to buy them a glass of beer, he lets you pick up the tab, and he lets you claim 50% of that deal on your taxes if you're in business. So M is for M is. So when I did that, I was like, wait a minute. I'm going to go back to all the letters and I'm going to change it up and write them like as if it is it's in a story format. And I rewrote the whole entire book in a story format. I don't know. Desiree is coming on board. Just so everyone knows, her butt is getting on here. So we're going to turn this into a 3-way family affair and chit chat. So you're going to see how we're all,
Hi,
hey,
guys.
Desiree.
Hey, y'all.
Hi, Mom.
All
Hey,
right.
Mom.
That's my beautiful daughter.
What are we
Yep.
doing here, guys?
Well, first of all, Desiree, you are on my show called Naked Tax Talk Raw. And you and your mothers are the first family members on my show.
I'm excited.
So, right?
I'm honored. Thank you.
Yes, you look so
Shut up.
cute.
So what are you guys talking about?
Oh, we're just gossiping. We're just talking about some great things.
I came
This
at the right time.
Yeah, this show is designed to
Get out
basically engage audience. Well, what's with your mother? I'm gonna kick her out for a second. Why I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah, I lost my dog. I gotta go.
Oh, well, that is real news. That's breaking news right now. That is breaking news. And just like that, people, this is how you get fish hooked and you bring in somebody else onto your show. Cousin
Well,
Desiree, like, I'm so glad. Like, I gotta have you. I just had your mother and then she bounced. That's okay, though.
What were you guys talking about?
Oh,
You
we
were
had
talking
some
about a
beautiful
book.
things. I was telling you about my book that I'm writing, The ABCs of
Ooh, that's exciting.
Deductions, which comes out, I think, in a month or two. Well, I want a month. I'm pushing for a month. And we were just talking about the importance of self and growing up and, all that fun stuff.
Nice.
So now that I got my cousin Desiree on my show, Desiree, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. What do you do? What's up?
Hey, guys. My name's Desiree. I'm from Texas, the greatest state that ever stood. I just want y'all to know. I'm from the Republic of Texas.
The
Recently
Republic
moved
of
to
Texas.
the Valley. All I am now is a mom.
I did hear about this.
Yes. All I am now is
Yes.
a mother, working from home, battling everything, finding my footing.
Finding your footing. What are we doing to find your footing? Tell people out there what does that mean?
Okay, well, I guess I should say what the situation is. The situation is my children recently lost their father a month ago.
I'm sorry.
And so finding my footing, really, like, for one, Xanax and weed are my best friend right now. And that's finding my footing. And basically just I can't, there's no me time. Being selfless is it's an easy thing to do when you're being compassionate from your heart. It's kind of a hard thing to do. I'm learning when it's your only option. I have no choice but to be a selfless mother.
Wow, you have no choice.
I don't have an option. So yeah. I'm actually thinking about starting a blog. Welcome back to my channel. Subscribe.
Hey, girl. Hey, listen. This is what you do. So you might be interested in a show that I'm going to put together. I want to put on a webinar. I was going to call it the 3 mistakes I made before I started my company and how to avoid them.
Yeah, I will.
So you got to come join it. So how has this given you a new appreciation for single mothers?
Definitely. I never considered myself a single mother. So fun fact, me and my baby daddy always got along. Like, shout out to my BD. We were always really, like, I was 18 when we met. He was 25. And so by the time I was 23, I was still growing up and he was kind of already a man established, and a stagnant person. So I'm like very adventurous. I've got to go out. I've got to chase money. I've got to move around. And so I never considered myself a single mother because we co-parented so well. Now I'm like, I don't know. I definitely appreciate single mothers, but I feel like I'm different. I feel like my situation is like, bitch, your situation is not mine. Okay, like at the end of the day, there's some people who still can, whether you get along with your baby daddy or not, or your child's other parent, you still can be like, hey, come get your kid, you know? And I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Right.
I'm really and he left behind an elderly aunt, which I'm now finding myself like, I can't leave her alone by herself. Like I can't, you know what I mean? Like she can't be, left alone. So I'm again, selflessness is my only option. I really do have to fill both shoes. And yeah, I don't know that I consider myself a single mom. Like I don't consider myself a widow, but I just feel like I stand apart from that. You know what I mean? Women in my
Mhm.
category stand apart from that. Um,
Where do you find this inner strength? Like,
that
what gives you that strength to say,
dude, I
I'm gonna
really
do it?
I really don't. Well, duh, my boys, right?
Yeah.
But I really don't know. I find myself like having conversations with people, and I find myself like, wow, I'm really glad. Like again, shout out to my baby daddy. Like I'm glad that he went first because I don't know that he would have the mind or the like the long run. I'm a big picture person, so I'm seeing how things are going to affect my kids in 20, 30, 40 years, and I
Wow.
don't know that he had that foresight or that thought of the foresight. So again, I find myself saying and doing things like that. I'm just like, wow, I never thought I'd be in this situation, but I it's my intuition. It isn't like there is a second option or should I do this, should I not do that. It just naturally comes like these are the things we're gonna do in honor of your father, or these are the things that we're gonna do to pay our respects to your father. And like with my boys in regards to like having two sons,
Mm-hmm.
so my oldest living with him and stuff was real. Like I heard everybody telling him during the whole process, like, "Oh, you're the man of the house, and you got to be strong for your mom and your brother, and you got to do this and you got to do that." And it occurred to me like the second day that I needed to pull my kid apart and be like, pull him to the side and be like, "Hey, you're a 13-year-old little boy who just lost his dad. Like, you don't need to be the man of the house. I'm not, I don't." And these things came natural to me. They weren't something that someone was like, you should remind your son that he's not, you know what I mean? Like, it all just kind of came natural. So,
That brought chills to my body. So,
wow.
for people who are just tuning in right now, I'm interviewing my cousin Desiree. Her and I were, she's one of my younger cousins, one of, I think at this point, 80, 90, 100 cousins of mine.
Basically his favorite.
Basically. And like she just hopped on. I just had her mom on here just a second earlier in the show, and we just did like a total like switch out. And Desiree and
My
I, of
mom lost
course,
her dog.
her mom lost her dog. We got to find out what's the
We don't know.
status. Like
We
seriously,
need an update.
this is like live news update right now. My aunt just lost her dog. Like lost it outside somewhere. So,
Yeah, somewhere.
but I digress. So people who are watching the show, like my cousin and I, we go back from when she first moved in with us when she was like a baby.
Dude,
I
seriously.
remember, dude.
Yes. And you used to
Yeah,
bake all the time.
I did. I was a baker, right? I
I
totally baked
loved it.
cakes. This is great. Like, my viewers are going to totally love this. They're going to be like, "Oh,
Yay.
of course I would. Hello, I'm a flashy dude." And, and I love what you said. I love what you said. What you just said because is a very powerful statement, and that is that you said to yourself, "Wait a minute. I need to tell my son. I need to remind my son that he doesn't have to be the man of the house. He just needs to be a
Yeah.
13-year-old boy."
Right. That's all I need you to be. I don't
Yeah.
need you to put the pressure on yourself. And again, like God works in mysterious ways. And so I had people in my life who I happened to have an uncle who lost his father, my grandfather, when he was 10 years old, like my
Mhm,
youngest. And I
mhm,
have a cousin who was 13 years old when his father passed away, like my oldest son. And that cousin kissed his dad goodbye, went to work, and his dad died at work. By 15 years old, he was involved in the streets and drugs. 17, he was in prison, did, his bid, got out, paid his debt to society or whatever. But I saw that the
mhm.
day everything was going on. And when I'm hearing people tell my kids, like, oh, you got to be strong for this and you got to be strong for that, like, you don't have to be strong for me. Like, everything that everything that we need to get us through this, it's already put inside me. Like, it's my job to find that along the way, but I don't need you right now to jump up and be like, okay, I gotta be the man. Like, no, dude, be a kid who just lost his dad. Like, that's okay.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's important. I mean, you and I both know we grew up pretty fast,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing worse than. I remember being 12 years old and helping my mom help her write checks. Um, helping her write checks so that she could make rent. You know what I
It's
mean? I
crazy.
remember
Our
having to do
parents
that.
grew up in a different time.
They did. My mom and your mom, they're sisters, and they grew up in South Texas, where you live right now, down in the Valley, Rio Hondo, Texas
Gang, gang.
area. Hey, hey, and yeah, like we know because our parents told us the stories. We know because our parents told us that they were forced to work in the fields and pick cotton, corn, and sugar cane. Like as soon as they could walk and talk, they were working.
Right. My
They
mother
were
had a third grade education.
exactly, and my mother
She
had
was
like a
out of
fifth grade
school.
education.
Yeah.
Come on now. So this is what our parents had to go through. This is what they've done. And in many ways, I used to harbor a lot of anger, with my mom and stuff and be like, I can't believe all that. But that I moved all past that because I was like, at the end of the day, it's not my mom's fault. Your mother's back. Let's get her in here. All right, Auntie, we were just talking about you. Did you hear that? We were just
Where
talking
is the
about you.
baby? Did you find
Yeah,
her?
it was Chance.
Hi, chingado.
Your dad took out the trash can and he forgot to close the gate.
Oh
Wow.
no. We were just talking
We're
about you,
okay now.
Auntie. We were just talking
Okay.
about you, and we're talking about how your family, like you and your brothers and your sisters, the kind of life that you guys were forced to live as first generations Americans here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Yes, because my mom was not. She had to cross here. My dad actually was he was born here.
Ah, gotcha. See what I know? What do I know?
See, right. So, a little fun fact: the dirt under my grandfather's ancestors' feet, one day was Mexico, one day was Texas, one day was the United States.
Yeah.
He did not immigrate.
Right.
It
It
was
was the
already there. It
dirt
was already
under his feet
established.
that changed. Right.
My mom immigrated
Right.
Yes.
when she was
Yes.
15.
Wow. Wow. And the thing is, like, this is our culture. This is our background. This is who we are. And,
Yeah.
we evolve into something completely radically different. By the way, I had someone ask me what this is. They think it's a gun, but no, I'm not. Oh, no, I just broke it. This is not a gun, people. This is not a gun. This is a bass recorder. So
Oh my goodness.
before my hubby and I got the piano, we wanted music in the house. So we learned how to play. Of course, you guys have known me forever. I've been a musician a long time,
Here, hold
Yes.
on.
and so we taught ourselves how to play. So let me see if I can do something. There you go, huh? So
Thanks.
yeah.
Hey.
So, anyways, that's the only time you guys will see me blowing wood live.
My mother.
Fun fact. That's the only time you're gonna see me blowing wood live on TV. Oh my god. So Desiree, how are you holding up in this entire situation with the virus and stuff?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Okay, so Cameron County is currently on lockdown. We're in day 2 of 15 days. We are in shelter in place lockdown. So basically I'm an introvert, so this
It's
is my
perfect.
life, bitch.
You're like, what's new?
This is my life. No, but yeah, it's I mean the valley's dead for the most part anyways, but it's so crazy, like the lines at the food places and stuff. I'm working from home right now, so we don't leave the house ever really.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
it
me
is
too.
crazy. You know what is crazy? I was actually gonna call you, Jonathan, because
Oh, see how it works?
yeah, because Blaine,
My
BB,
husband.
yes, I need him to help me because these teachers passed out these packets for school.
Welcome to being
Okay,
a teacher.
baby, I did not go to college to be an educator. I didn't go
No.
to college, period. Okay. So these are literal printouts from a teacher's handbook. Like, give the students this, do this with the students. Like, bitch, I'm not doing your job. Like, I get it. Shout out to all the teachers. We love you guys. I appreciate y'all so much.
You have a whole new,
But
you have a whole new level of appreciation for teachers now.
I've
Yeah.
always had.
Of course.
I think teachers should be paid like doctors. Like, it's insane that the system is backwards. But
Right.
that's a whole nother show, baby.
That is a whole
Um,
other show.
yes. But it's crazy the plan that was put in place for this situation. You know what I mean? Like, what they ended up like. I did not expect them to just be like, okay, all the kids pass.
Mhm.
But I also didn't expect to be again, my situation recently changed. So I'm a
Yeah.
full-time mom. I'm
Yes.
working from home. I just
Yes.
moved, and now a bitch gotta teach fifth grade math and English. Like, no, sir, not me. I'm not. You get an A. You get an A. The teacher was fired the first day on the job for smoking weed on the job. Like, the teacher was fired. The teacher was fired.
She's gonna be like, "So kids, this is how you roll a joint. You
Yes,
kind of
and
sit
this is going
in
live,
Yeah,
breath."
it's
Desiree.
just a plant. It's just a plant.
Desiree, this is live. Be careful what you say.
It is live. We are
I
definitely
totally
live.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I do have my medical card, so we're good to
My
go.
mom face. My mom.
She's being a mom. See, moms will always be moms, right? I don't care where you go, what
Yeah.
you do, moms will always be moms.
Always.
Always. Like, I don't
She's
care who you
hilarious.
are.
She's like,
Oh my goodness.
go puff the dragon. Like, okay, mom.
Go puff the magic dragon to come down.
She's such a
To
dork.
come down. That's hilarious. So yeah, so the whole thing is that yeah, I don't know where we're going anymore on this whole thing, but that's okay. That's part of my show. So yeah, I'm so glad to connect with you both. And it's interesting how the world is changing it so that we are all connecting now in a very virtual setting.
Man, this is awesome.
You know, it reminds me of Star Trek back in the day when you'd see them like pretending to talk into this flat thing, and now look, it's a reality. We're talking to each other the same exact way. I mean, if you think about that show,
My mom.
well, because your mom's seen the show, that's why.
Yeah. On TV land.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Black and
TV
white.
land, she says. You're
Black
so
and white.
mean. Well, I mean, honestly, if you want to go down that road, I mean, Auntie, you can tell us the things that you've seen change since the time you were a little girl to the things that, like, all of a sudden you're like, what? Like, right?
Well, yeah. One thing I saw today, I saw two things that really freaked me out. I was like, I remember my dad saying this. You know, this young generation they're fearless. They have no fear at all whatsoever. Like, they think all this is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that today. I was like, what the heck? There was this young girl who says that she was in a private plane and she licked the toilet. So she was saying there's nothing wrong with that. I was
She
like, what is
licked
wrong with
the toilet?
Yeah, look it on YouTube.
What? She licked the toilet?
She licked the toilet and she's all proud of it.
Licked it. Lick, like.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, good. That makes me thirsty. Hold on. I got to drink something.
That's a fetish.
An airplane toilet. But anyway, her thing was that us oldies are just freaking out and we are punishing the young generation. We want them to stay home. So she's turning this virus into a thing that it's because you guys are old and you guys are panicking. There's nothing wrong with the virus. And she's like, it's only killing old people. And she's like, so, but you guys are punishing us young ones staying home. So she refuses to stay home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she said she went to the beach after she licked that toilet and she kissed a lot of people. So go for it. I don't know.
Go for it, she says. Why does your breath stink? Oh, I just licked the toilet.
Yeah, but don't worry. It's an old people disease.
I mean, I just read an article. Girl, Desiree, you got it. That wind is killing my mic situation over here.
I'm so sorry.
I have a viewer that just went offline. No, just kidding. But no, but seriously. So By the way, what do you guys think about my fabulous jacket that I have? This is my show
At
jacket.
what point do we get naked?
Oh my God. Well, so technically I've like the last few broadcasts, I've been shirtless. That's the truth. I've been shirtless, but I just moved this back here. I just moved it because it was on the other area. Cause I'm working from home now. And I was like, my corporate colors for Naked Tax Talk are fuchsia grays and fuchsia grays and whites. And I saw this and I thought, perfect. Instead of having me the green screen, which I mean, it's all clunky and stuff. I would just put this here with this fabulous coat. Hello. And like with you earlier, earlier, you were saying like, I have natural intuition about a lot of things that are happening. And for some weird reason, as a marketing dude, like I never thought I'd be a marketer. I never thought I'd be in sales.
It wasn't a job. Marketing wasn't a job like it is now.
You got to hustle.
Yeah.
You got to hustle. So I was like, this will be my new backdrop. Platforms. Oh yeah, there's this right here, which is what I'm doing. So check this out. Are you ready for a story? Story time. So
Yay.
I had just started with a second coach. I've hired a first coach who taught me how to who just basically just showed me that I could in fact do this shit. And the second coach I hired taught me that I could actually tell my story and use it as a way in which to engage an audience, in a way to inspire them, motivate them. And so the saying goes that if you're in business, you have to have a platform so people can connect with you.
Right.
And he's like, check it out. So you get on YouTube Live, you get on Facebook Live, or you go to networking events, or you speak on stages, blah, blah, blah. And he said something that was interesting. And he said, nobody would give him a stage to talk on. And for some reason, it struck a nerve. And I said, well, William Shakespeare said that the world is our stage. And all we have to do is show up, babies. And so in my mind, I already started thinking about how I was going to create this show and bring it online. And I met some amazing people. I met, her name is Tony Kaufman. Shout out to you, Tony, of K2DM, who I hired them to actually come out and help me produce my first 16 episodes. So those episodes are fully edited with the makeup, the hair, the directors. And I had 16 guests that we interviewed in 3 days. So it was back to back. Like I worked like 13 hours a day or longer than that every single day just to film 16 episodes. And I was getting antsy, like waiting, because there was some issues that were going on in the back end. Not their fault or anything. It's just part of production. Mm-hmm. And so my wonderful friend, Paul Chow, shout out to you, Paul, said, well, why don't you create a show called Naked Tax Talk Raw, where it's unedited and it's just in the moment. And I said, I'm like from Spain. I said,
too much beer.
Too much beer. And so I said, oh my God, that's genius. And so I started creating this show because I realized that people will not give you a stage. And sometimes you just got to create your own stage. And if you're a business owner, people don't know you exist unless you tell them you exist. And in this world that's evolving and changing now, especially now that we're having to stay home, how the hell do you know what I do if I don't see your ass on the street? Mm-hmm. So I got to get on here and I've got to tell the world what we do. In case you're curious, people hire me today as their elite tax consultant to unlock the mystery of taxes, uncover legal loopholes, and reveal missed opportunities. Bottom, babies, is this. When you're sick and tired of not knowing what you're going to pay at year end, you work with someone like me. So this is what this platform has allowed me to do. Oh my gosh, Lise. Okay, wait, hold on. You guys have to meet Lise. She is my beautiful friend from Canada. And she's going to be on my show. And Lise, I'm sending you an invite right now. So I want your ass on my show. I want you to meet my cousin and my aunt. So get over here. I'm sending you an invite right now, Lise. And you and I will speak French together because she's French Canadian, you see. And I met her when I was in Canada, the very first time in Vancouver. And Vancouver reminds me of Seattle. If you've ever been to Seattle, it reminds me of Seattle. And okay, Lise, I'm sending you the link. So get your butt on here. I want to talk to you. I want people to meet you. And I want you to meet my tia and my cousin. So I just sent you the link, Facebook Messenger. So that's where you'll find it. Go to Facebook Messenger. I just sent you the link. Get your butt in here. Because Lise did something very, very amazing. You talk about a woman who's connected to a higher power, be it God, universe, or so forth. And when I bought this jacket in Vancouver, see, I was looking for a fabulous bathrobe because that was originally my show, because my show started with a bathrobe at a text conference. And this became, so I walk into the show with my friend Tony into a jacket shop, and Tony puts the jacket on. She's like, oh, I like it. I was like, oh my God, I love that jacket. And she took it off and she's like, well, here. So I put it on and it's been my jacket ever since. So Lise, she turned around and she's like, I want you to know, JB, everything that I pray over protects it. And she and I and Tony, we got into a prayer circle. She said her prayers over it and she blessed it. And I'll never forget your words, Lise, because as soon as you get your butt on this show, I want to promote you, because she said to us, when JB wears this jacket, nobody will bother him. And it's true. Every time I put this jacket on, I'm out in the world. Like, people come up to me and they're like, oh my God, you look so fabulous. You look so great. And now I wear this jacket on stage to present and to tell the world how Uncle Sam is their friend.
Aww.
Isn't that something?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Lise, I sent you the link on your messenger. So go find it. It's over there if you're watching. There she's coming. Oh, she's coming online. Here she comes. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Lise from Canada. Go find it. It's over there.
Hi.
If you're watching. Uh-oh, we got feedback somewhere. Hello, Lise. How are you?
So good. So good. How about you?
Fantastic. So I want to introduce you to my cousin Des up on the top screen, my Auntie Sandy at the bottom.
Hello.
Hi.
And oh my God, your background looks fabulous.
That's with me.
I'm just sitting on the floor right now.
I'm on the floor. Even she can look fashionable on the damn floor. Okay, I'm just saying. Lise, bonjour.
Yep.
I said bonjour. Oh, bonne nuit, pardon-moi.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Oh yeah, c'est bonsoir. My French friends are gonna kill me. Bonsoir. Yes. Yeah, so Lise and I was just telling them how you blessed my jacket in Vancouver.
Yes. Yeah. I prayed over it for sure for blessing.
Yes, and you're talking to 2 women, by the way, who are also very in tune with God and with the universe as well.
God is
So, yes. So say hello to each other. Hello, hello.
Hello from San Antonio.
And this.
Yeah,
I
Liz.
just love Jonathan. I love Jonathan. The first time I met him was at a 3-day event and fell in love with him.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's very, very dear to me, very much. I'm very close to him. I used to live with him when he was just a baby, and I was a young, wild teenager.
Aw.
So I used to live with my sister, which is Jonathan's mom, John's mom. So I grew up with him, like he was my little brother.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
yep. And then she had Desiree when she was there.
Yes.
She was just a baby when you were living with us, so I remember.
And Sheila.
And Sheila. That's right, her other daughter.
Yes.
So, yeah. Lise, tell us a little bit about you and what do you do? Like, what's your specialty? Let us know. Like, fill in my cousin and my aunt. Let them know, like, what it is that you do.
What I do is I pray over wonderful jackets.
Yeah, you do.
No, what I do is I help women find the right guy.
All right.
Really?
Des is got-
Just kidding.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, pick her brain. Pick her brain right now, Auntie and cousin. Pick her brain. She's
Like
right
a
here available.
matchmaker, like a legit matchmaker.
I'm not a matchmaker, but I help you figure out why you haven't found the right guy yet.
Oh.
Therapy. I love it. That's super interesting.
Doing the inner work, right?
Yeah,
And breaking
This is
the cycle.
that's crazy.
That's
breaking the
interesting.
cycle. What is? Enlighten us a little bit about the cycle. Is there a cycle that you could identify that you're like, this is what women typically do, and this is why we end up where we end up in?
It's a pattern.
Yeah, well, I found that the biggest pattern really is that women are seeking love so much that they're not they ignore the red flags. Like there's so many red flags that people show, but people are so they just want to be loved, right? They just want to be in that relationship, or maybe they're in lust with the guy and or with the girl.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it typically women that
no,
you?
men do too.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. And so people are not willing to set boundaries, right? Because they don't even know how. And it all
Mhm.
comes from how what we've learned from the past as a child,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's very powerful. It's very true. I mean, I myself am actually working on that. Like this has been things I've been working on too, and you're talking about truth here because what I discovered in my own quest is that we're all wanting to be loved, and sometimes we're willing to be loved at a cost.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're willing to settle for the wrong person at the wrong time. And here's something interesting. This even translates into business.
Yeah.
It translates into business because as business owners, we're so badly wanting to be loved and liked by the people that we work with that we're willing to let them devalue us. We're willing to let them like respond to us when they want to respond to us. We're willing to let them tell us, "Oh, I can't pay you." And then they don't pay you for months. And yet we
Right.
keep doing the work because we're willing to sacrifice ourselves so badly for the love, our delusional mind for the love that doesn't even exist. Am I right, Lise?
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is it. This is
And
it
Yeah.
right here.
I think a lot of times too why people sometimes don't find love is because that's all they're looking for is love when yet they're missing out on the most important thing, which is value and respect. If you can get those two, then you can have love, the healthy
Yeah.
one anyway.
Absolutely. And I found like so many of my clients, they just well, you see a person, you fall in love with what there's the chemistry, right? There's that wonderful, passionate sexual chemistry. And that
Mm.
is like so powerful.
Yeah.
A lot of
Um,
people don't go past
there's
that.
a new show on Netflix called Love is Blind. Have y'all seen it?
Oh, I think I
I'm
might have.
watching it right now.
Oh my God, it is
I
Like right
so
now.
literally got to
good. I
rewind
love
2
it.
episodes
It's
because I'm on
so
here.
interesting.
It really is.
It's very interesting. I
It
saw the
really
whole
is.
thing. It's really good to watch.
Yeah,
Good,
because
good.
the sexual chemistry does not mean
Hashtag ad.
doesn't mean anything. Oh,
What's that?
is that uncle?
That's my uncle Ron back there.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's my husband.
I'm tired right
Yes.
now.
We were chasing the big dog outside.
Right in the middle of the show, she lost her dog outside, so she zipped out, and my cousin Des came on, and then she came back on when she found her dog. Oh wait, you were watching. You were not, but
Yeah, tag team.
yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, Liz. Liz, can you say that again because you said it was actually really powerful because you said it's not about. Say it again. You just said something about the sexual love or something like that. What did you just say?
Sexual chemistry has nothing to do with whether or not the person is going to be the right partner for you.
Right.
And a lot of people think that when they find that person and they're all like, goo goo gaga over, and oh, he's the one or she's the one, because your whole body is tingling with passion,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing this, please?
I've been doing this since 2011.
Okay, yeah. Because I feel like now, like maybe the last 3 or 4 years, because I have a boyfriend for a year, but before that, it's like even though sexual chemistry isn't or shouldn't be important, it is literally the first thing people do.
Yeah,
Like it's literally If you're not, and I went through a phase where it was, mom, cover your ears, dad, go to bed,
Okay.
good night, God. I went
You want
through
me to
a
kick him out of the
phase
room?
where it was like, if you're not good at this, dude, why am I gonna even waste my time learning what you eat like and how your political point of view, like, if you're not even good at this? That's really bad.
Very,
That's
very
okay,
bad.
that's okay, Des, because I actually did the same thing too. I mean, that's the
Mhm.
truth. Yeah, Lisa, tell us a little bit about that.
About sex.
She'll go there. No, because
It's just the evolution of it, like how hard it is to really get, like, nowadays, how hard it is to get past. Because now watching the show, I'm thinking it would be easy if people dated like this, right? But then it would like, watching the show, it becomes easier for them to talk to each other when they're not in the same room, when they're not face to face, and because that that connection is there, and no one, I feel like today it's impossible to make that connection with somebody without factoring in sex, because nobody cares anymore. Like, if you're not good at this, why am I wasting my time?
Well, people have to start having better values. They have to. We have to have higher standards for
That's
ourselves.
why there's a lot of single people.
A lot of
I feel like
people.
it's social media who feeds into it, a lot of it. I feel like the platforms, although they're helpful, they affect our mental makeup in other situations where we don't even think about until you're like, damn, I really can't meet somebody and who doesn't just want to have sex. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't meet somebody who loves having conversations. Like, thank God my boyfriend is like the whitest black guy in the world. Like, he loves to talk. Like, he's super smart, all of that. And it's that keeps us going, because our relationship now is long distance, because I just moved. He
No,
goes back and forth to California so much. And so it becomes like, that conversation and that friendship has to be there, because sex is like such a small part of our relationship. Like, it's insane.
yeah. I mean, sex is important in a relationship, but when you first meet somebody, it cannot be just about sex,
Yeah,
because some people make the wrong choices because
based off of
Right.
it.
it could be really great. It could be really wonderful in bed. He knows all kinds of techniques, and the woman knows how to have sex with him, and it's magical. It can be so magical, but then you guys don't have the same values, or you don't.
Or he can't play Cards Against Humanity with you and your friends, because that happened to me. That happened. Like, you're so cool and everything, but you can't read. Like, you could not read SATs. He said that. And I
You
was
know,
like, I could never talk to him again. I had to ghost him.
that was that was your like no entry point beyond
I
this one. Like
can't,
you
if
said.
you can't be, and literally, I swear to God, literally a month after that, I met my boyfriend, and it was like, okay, dude, can you read? Can you hang out with my friends? Can you do all these things before we get anywhere near the sexual part of our relationship? Because, like, I'm an extremist. Like, if you can't read, I have to have a guy who loves to read the dictionary in his spare times the next time around, because it was crazy. But yeah, that happened to me.
You know what's funny? Okay, so I feel like I gotta bring this up. So this is a great, I mean, we're already an hour, so it's technically a new episode here, just saying.
Yay.
But so
What was
people will
the
hope
episode supposed to be
people
about?
the hell if I know.
I've been
So
asking that forever.
listen, all I know is that I get on the show and I just allow things to flow. Because here's the thing: like we should have an agenda, we should have an idea of the direction we want to go, and I agree with this. This is important to us, but sometimes though, isn't it just nice to let our hair down and then just have a conversation and see where it goes? Like for example, what you both are talking about is extremely fucking valuable. In fact, I'm writing a book called Sex and Taxes.
Ooh.
And yeah, and actually it's going to take you guys all the way back to my very first sexual encounter, which was I was as young as 6 years old. and it's going to walk you through, and it's technically not sex. Like, let's not be like butt sex at the age of 6. Okay. It's a very innocent type of situation that went down. And I talk about all of these innocent, which they really were, experiences, but it was the adults that made it shameful, that made it terrible, that made me feel guilty, that made me feel ashamed of how I felt and what was going on. I had no fucking clue, honestly. I didn't know how to interpret the emotions. I was just made to feel like I was a pervert. I made it feel like I was ashamed, like I was going to go to hell, like all of these feelings, all these emotions. And so my book is about each of these major milestones in my sexual life. And more importantly, how it impacted my business. Because you see, it wasn't until I created a red rope policy, that's to Michelle Weinstein, who creates coined this term for us, who's my sales coach. She creates something called a red rope policy. And basically it says that in sales, you should know who you want to have sex with. Plain and simple. Not like this, but my interpretation is who do I want to have sex with? Who do I want to have a relationship with? Because you see, in business, oftentimes it can be very one way. It can be very transactionary. It's kind of like you hook up with a pimp or a prostitute or whatever. It's transactionary. You're just fucking them and leaving. But in relationships, when you work with tax consultants like me, with relationship coaches like Lee's, with Des, like what you do in the background, my auntie Sandy, whatever, when you want a relationship, it's what we're talking about. It's beyond the sex. It's beyond the transaction. And so, believe it or not, in business, my book, we're going to talk about how you go from my sexual story, my sexual life, into finally reclaiming my value and reclaiming my power by basically creating what I call my red rope policy that now says, listen, you want to do business with me, or you want to continue to do business with me? You want to be my client? Guess what? I have something called a red rope policy. Thank you, Michelle Weinstein. A red rope policy, 10 things that people must do to remain my client or to even become a client.
Standards.
For the first time in my fucking life, I took ownership and said, in my business, I will have standards.
Yay! That's
Yes,
awesome.
ma'am.
That's
John,
impactful. That's awesome.
Yeah. And you know what? In my sex life, believe it or not, I took the red rope policy and I created it in my sex life.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? The guys that I was, because let's be real, I have my husband and I have at least 1 or 4 boyfriends on the side. This is just my life. I love it. I enjoy it.
That was a game,
And
man.
my husband has total approval. He knows every single one of them. He knows what's up. And here's the thing. The boyfriends would text me when they were in the mood. And when I was in the mood, I would be ghosted. I wouldn't get a response. Or they were always busy. And I was the one left like, oh, okay. So then like a week goes by, they'd be like, hey, what's up? And then you're like, hey, what's up? And then they'd come over, we bone or whatever, and they leave. And I'd still be like, huh, okay. Then when I started creating this red rope policy in my business, I took it to myself personally. And I said, you know what? That's it. People who want to bone this, because this is precious, they want to bone this, they're going to have to go through my red rope policies to bone this. And it's interesting how that correlates, because it is a correlation between the way we view ourselves and the way we run our business. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn. Did I just go on like a huge moment?
Loved it.
Fix your tiara. Fix your tiara.
Fix the tiara. Uh-oh, my hubby's responding. Uh-oh, I don't know what he's saying. He's saying not cool. Uh-oh. What happened, honey? I got to respond to him. What happened, honey? Babe, come here. Maybe because he doesn't like the idea of my stuff being aired. That could be it. You know, it's just that. So,
Behave.
I know. I got to behave. I got to.
Behave. Be a lady.
I got to be a lady. That's right. Hey, did you know that I found out that I have what they call a lady's heart, a woman's heart? I had no idea this was a thing. So I go on this cruise in January. It was called the Marketers Network Cruise. And I was, at this time, I was still kind of figuring out, like, who's my ideal client? Like, who do I actually want to work with? And I still had no idea. And because I would say, like, everybody. And I noticed that when men were talking to me, I had a really hard time connecting with them, like in terms of like what it is I do in my business and things of that nature. But the universe kept sending me women like to interrupt us. And I'd find myself like laughing and joking and hugging and just like all kinds. And I can't remember her name, unfortunately, at the moment. And she says to me, oh, you have like a woman's heart. That's why you connect with us. And I never thought about it that way. And all of a sudden it was like, because I do come from that place of nurturing, of compassion, of kindness. Like that's where I come from. I come from this desire that everybody is pleased around me and everyone's taken care of
Yeah.
around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
And
energy.
yeah.
Even though you didn't grow up in that environment, that's how you know it's natural to you, because it's not like you had the influence of a nurturing household or of a nurturing parent, any of that. It literally came natural to you, and those of us who know you are like, yeah, that is totally you. Yeah, other, because I heard woman's heart and I'm like, yeah, you're gay, but yeah, no, that is supernatural to you. That's why you are able to be as compassionate as you are, and
Just comes natural.
yeah, it really does, because it's not, again, like you grew up in that
Yeah.
nurturing environment.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's just who you are 24/7. You're not making it up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you're so full of love. You're just one of the most loving people I know,
Really.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Yeah. Very bubbly.
mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, it is, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to explain. I was just blown away. I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it
And so
does.
what's interesting is at the end of 8 days, so I tell people when I've been on the cruise that I went to heaven for 8 days because that's kind of how it felt. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason is because I realized that you could eat whatever you wanted to, whenever you wanted to. You could drink whatever I bought the package, okay, the drink package. So I drank my booze and I was drinking all the time. And there were people on the ship and they were saying like, I got to watch my carbs. I got to watch what I'm eating. And then you'd hear people say, you shouldn't be drinking and socializing with other business people and blah, blah, blah. And then I met two gorgeous, beautiful boys. I shouldn't call them boys, young men. They're 25 piece, 25-year-old boyfriends. I met them on the ship and ended up being their boyfriend, so to speak, for a few days. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, like this is what heaven's like. Heaven, there is no eat shaming, there's no dream shaming, there's no slut
Right.
shaming. There's just no shame. And then that's when I discovered that if you think about it, what the root of all evil is, or our natural sin is, it is our sense of shame and guilt. And that comes from people who places that upon us and tells us what we should and
Mm-hmm.
should not be.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was in heaven for 8 days. And so at this point, I still had no idea who I wanted to work with. I was still kind of like anybody and everybody. And I had my major panic attack I had a major panic attack on the 7th day in heaven. And I felt it in my
Ironic.
heart. Like I couldn't breathe. Like I was like, and no matter how hard I breathed, it wasn't enough. And I sat down at the table, and God would send me a woman named Ellen, and she sat across from me. Shout out to you, Ellen. And she sits across from me, and she just says, "Can you breathe for me? Can you just breathe?" And I was like, oh, and I realized I was holding my breath, like, I was the one holding the breath instead of just letting it happen naturally, and so we sat there for a long time, and then Stacy, another friend of mine, she showed up. Shout out to you, Stacy. She showed up, and she's like, "Oh, come on, baby, like, you can get this energy going, like, let's shift it," and it was just all these beautiful things, and then another woman, Dr. Monroe, she comes up, and she just sits down, and as I got up, she says to me, JB, I never understood why you wear your jacket and why you show up half naked on stage. But when I saw you show up the way you did, I understand it and I love you for it. And it was another like affirmation that I'm supposed to do this. So
Mm-hmm.
Ellen and I venture up to the ninth floor, to the ninth deck in front of the ship where nobody goes. And we're continuing this conversation about our woman heart and what it means and so forth and so on. And we're standing like in the movie Titanic, and I'm doing like this. And I kid you not, but we were transported off of that boat. That's how it felt. And what felt like minutes went by. All of a sudden, Ellen and I look at each other and we're like, where did we just go? And she's like, I have no idea. Now, let me tell you, I wasn't drunk. I wasn't on pot. I wasn't doing any other drugs. It was just this natural ocean being there.
That's awesome.
And when I came back, I said, I've been in heaven for 7 days. And if God said to me, Jonathan, I'm sending you back to earth, how would you show up? And that is what all of a sudden I got this big download. This is what my friend Ellen says, the download from universe. And it said, you're to work with women. You are to work with women to empower them, to show them how valuable they are, and to really work with them when it comes to the money side. Because the thing is that women have been treated like second-class citizens since the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Period.
tax law is a way in which we do it to treat you like second-class citizens. Well, guess what? I work with it, and I know how to unlock it to put money back into my clients' pockets. So I came back, my red rope policy, she's all in here. I wrote her out. She's 2 pages long. I put everything in here about who she is that I
Yeah.
want to work with.
Wow, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
That
I'm
really
glad
is.
you went on that trip.
Me too.
That really helped. No, I'm serious. I'm glad you did because
Mhm.
that really helped. It was like it you
A
needed that
wake
to
up call.
know, like a wake up call, right? To let you know where you stand, why you're here, you know.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, we do need that because, like you said, women have always been put down. I mean, we can tell you stories of, our women ancestors and stuff. So, no more. It's time to fix a tiara.
That's right. Fix the tier. That's your coin. I'm totally using it. I'm gonna do this now. Every time I go somewhere, I'm like,
In the morning, fix a tiara.
I'm gonna totally put it on. I'm
Yes.
like,
Don't let nobody remove those little jewels of yours.
my Auntie Sandy is actually a fountain of wisdom, for sure. So
Word.
yes, word, right? Like she totally says a lot of things. So anywho's blues. Well, Lise, oh my god, I can't believe you're here. You're joining me with my family. This is so much fun.
Yeah, so much fun.
How's
Yeah.
Vancouver, by the way? How are you guys handling this whole entire like the
Um,
pandemic and everything?
it seems really unreal. I'm supposed to be in Paris this week, but here I am still in Vancouver. I can't go to Paris, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the streets are like just basically nobody on the streets.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you two, in Texas, it's the same thing, right? You guys are on lockdown
Yeah,
too.
we're on
We
shelter in
are.
place.
We're the only state that wants to be like Italy, I guess, in the next couple of months. So just saying. I guess our governor has a
Well, it
thing for
didn't happen
Italians.
until because they still let spring break happen the first week of spring break, and then we had all the outbreaks of cases and people licking toilets and shit. So
Licking
Yeah.
toilets, like, come on.
that's gonna be a
Yeah.
thing.
Liz
Yeah,
is like, you Americans are crazy.
Really? Can I go to
I'm telling you,
Canada?
some of us are
Take me
freaking
with
crazy as
you.
well in different ways.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
Texas has the most deaths so far.
Really? I
Mhm.
think we're up to I don't want to say I don't know the number exactly, but I think we're up to 6, I think.
Wow.
I think. Yeah, I think we're up to 6.
Well, they're
Isn't that something?
quarantining in San Antonio. They're quarantining everybody off of the cruise ships and planes.
Yeah.
That's why there's been the most deaths
And
because
we live real close
they're
to the
using
base.
the air force. Yeah, that Air Force base there.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
real,
So,
like 4 miles from our house.
and people are not following directions. People are escaping from quarantine and going
Yeah.
to the mall, and it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, still there's
It
still
is.
so many people that are not taking it seriously.
No,
They don't.
it's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And all we can do is watch out for ourselves now and watch out for our families and limit as
Hmm.
much as we can.
yeah.
And then if we're business owners, this is the moment in our lives to you know what this moment reminds me of? It reminds me of that question that was asked of me on that 7th day.
So,
If you when you survive this, when we survive this, how do we show up in the world differently?
Hmm.
Yeah, there's gonna be lots of changes. I was actually thinking about that today. Like going forward, you're gonna see people just. I would hope that you're gonna see people being more compassionate, just because. Well,
Yeah.
even like in my next door neighbor, you know what I mean? Like, do you have? I just moved into my house. Like, do you have water? Do you have? I know you're working from home. Do you need me to go to the store for you? Like little things like that, you know. And these are people that I
Hmm.
don't know. I just moved in, and everybody's taking care of everybody. So
Hmm.
it has brought people closer together, but it's also made people show their asses. Like people are crazy. People
I
are
know.
crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they show the asses from at least 6 feet away. That's required.
Yeah, social distancing, please.
If you're gonna show your ass, please do it 6 feet away,
Get over
please.
there.
I saw a meme that said, "If I can smell your fart, you're too close."
Yeah. Or your breath. or your breath.
All
Yeah,
right.
that is so true, though.
Where I live, it's so wonderful. Where I live, well, you know, Jonathan, where I live
Yeah.
here, there's many high rises, and throughout Vancouver, there's sections of many high rises, you know. And at 7 o'clock our time, every night for the past week or so, we all go outside on the balcony and we make noise, and you know, we applaud, we
That's
do
so
clapping hands, and
awesome.
as a thank you to the nurses and doctors and everybody like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
heard it.
You
I,
should
That is
totally
so cool.
film that. That would be like the
Yeah,
moment in
that would
Italy
be
where they
awesome.
filmed the people coming out
Oh,
on the
yes.
balconies and playing music. That would be so cool. You should film that, please, and put it
Yeah,
online.
that's
yeah,
really beautiful.
I'll do that tomorrow night. I was
Yeah.
on the phone with a client from six to seven, just after 7 tonight, and I said, "Hold on a minute." Not
Aw.
professional, but I said, "Hold on a minute." I can't.
That is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool, though.
You have to get out there and make some noise.
Yeah,
Make some noise. Let people know you're not rotting in your house. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just crazy how the world is just rapidly changing around us so fast. I mean, just so fast. And anywho's blues. So, ladies, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes with you, Lise, for sure.
Oh,
And
Nice.
Thea, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on my
Yeah.
show.
Jonathan, I had a wonderful time. I'm glad that you invited me, and this was a lot of fun. This
it's
really
so
was a lot
nice
of
to
fun.
meet your family.
Yeah,
It
because
was
nobody
nice
really knows,
meeting
right?
you.
Like,
No. And to my daughter Desiree, I miss you so much.
Miss you
You don't even
too.
know.
She
I
can't
love
come down
you.
to visit me. She was gonna come down, but we're like closed in, so they'll turn you around at some point, and
Yeah.
because we're on lockdown, so she can't come visit me. So when I miss my
So I
mom.
bought her groceries. So tomorrow I'm gonna mail them out
She's
with the
FedExing
mailbox.
me groceries tomorrow.
That's
that's
the now.
that's
Yeah.
that's family right there for you. That's
Yay.
love right
John John,
there.
this was so fun.
Love
Yeah,
you,
Des,
John
thanks for
John.
getting here. Love you both.
I really
Love you
do have
both.
like important tax questions to ask
Oh,
you.
please ask.
So
Please ask right now. Right now. Right now.
okay.
Right now.
Okay. Well, I'm scared.
What the
I
hell?
feel yeah,
Uh,
okay, so they're not I had one question. Like, is your industry affected by all of this? Like, are people filing their taxes? Or
This is a really great question. So
sorry, we're
I'm
so
gonna
far into the
uh,
like show, but
this is what I told my guest the other night. I said, here's the thing. It's like sex. You kind of start out with the foreplay and it takes time to warm up, and then you got to get to know each other, and then you start to do things.
if it
And then
doesn't
eventually
slide in, you gotta work a little more.
that's
Desiree.
Go to bed, mother.
That's exactly right. So I get it. Yes, it takes time to warm up, and it is a big group right now, so it takes a lot longer. So yes, so okay, so ask your tax question. I'm gonna tell people right now. People are asking me questions.
Are people filing their taxes right now? Like, is the tax industry like affected by this? And go
Okay,
ahead,
great.
answer that
Yes.
first.
Okay, so I'll answer that question first. So as far as our industry, here's the thing: like tax accountants are actually are considered a viable industry still, because the truth is even though we're shutting down in terms of other areas and we're being forced to confine and all that stuff, the government isn't actually shutting down. It's just saying, yo, peeps, you have now to July 15th to file your taxes. That's now official. And in my case, the state of Arizona, she also came compliant with the IRS as well. And so now we have until July 15th. So the truth is that people still need to file their taxes and they still need to be compliant. So from that point of view, yes, we're still like in high demand. Now,
Good.
as far as what we do, we are basically elite tax consultants. So people need us more than ever right now. And what I mean by that is we work directly with people's cash, people's finances, people's debts, people's everything. And at the end of the day, we're at the forefront of giving them advice and saying, okay, so this is how it's impacting your life. Like tomorrow, I'm launching a live webinar. By the way, I'll plug my webinar for tomorrow. this is the link right here. So if you go to calendly.com, jbengal/emergency cash flow plan, that's a long link. Or actually, if you go to my website, jbfinancialllc.com, people can get on and join my webinar tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. It's for anybody really, and the objective is to show people there are 5 strategies that they can implement right now to save at least $5,000 in cash, like before April 1st. And so we're going to have a discussion of the things that you can do to get you to save that kind of money. And like, for example, Paige, who's my director, when she found out about these new provisions that are coming up, I was like, Paige, go do it. Make sure this is real. Make sure this can be done. Like, I don't want to give away false information. So I got a report today and she's like, yep, and yep. And she's got a lot of money now freed up as a result of what we're going to teach tomorrow. So I'm charging $129 for an hour conference and then a 30-minute Q&A. And we're going to share this information with people who are interested in learning about it. Because, yeah, in my industry, we are at the forefront. Like, take this, for example. This is how important we are. Right now, the market is crashing. The stock market, I shouldn't say that, it's false news, I guess, or fake news, or whatever they call it, but it's caution news. I will cautionly say that the market is on a downward turn right now. It's crashing. Let's be real. You pull up the numbers. Did you know that there's actually a tax strategy to utilize the losses that are happening right now? So, like, I just had a conference today with one of my clients, and we said, you know what? Now's the time to strategically think about selling some of your stocks on purpose, even though you're going to lose some money on the deal. But if we strategically do it, this is how it's going to impact your taxes positively in the future. Does that make sense? So this is where I'm very valuable, and a lot of other tax planners and consultants are valuable right now.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. And the other thing though is if you guys are entrepreneurs and if you want to be an entrepreneur, think about this for a moment. Think about the most simple, take yourself to a time when you were trying to do something and you didn't understand how to do it. So for example, Desiree, like, because I know you in the past used to work in accounting work as well, right? Do you still do accounting work?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say, for example, someone came up to you and they're like, so Desiree, like, I don't understand, like, how do I book my receivables correctly so I know who owes me money? Well, you happen to be an expert in this field. And so you could say, oh, you know what? How about I create a course and I will teach you how to do it and I'll sell it to you for, $20, $30 or whatever. And if you get 10 people, 100 people, 1 million people, well, you made a whole bunch of money, didn't you? So that's kind of like the thing. It's like trying to keep it as simple as possible. So while that's been in my mindset, because that's been my intention, I'm going to launch some new courses. So I'm going to check this out. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to launch a course on how to raise your prices to match your value, because I'm doing that too. How to, the 3 mistakes I made when I went to business for myself. So what you should avoid, 3 mistakes. Who's typing? Someone's typing over there. Who's typing? Is that you, Desiree? Are you typing?
No, I'm on the phone, guys.
Who is? I want to know who is typing. My show is.
I heard it too.
I'm on my phone.
It's coming from Auntie Sandy. Who's typing? Who's making some noise over there?
I'm not doing
Is your dog eating next to it or something?
No, I'm in my bedroom. I came to lay down because my phone was dying. So I'm charging it.
No. Oh well. It's someone is like clicking away over here.
It is weird. I hear it.
I hear it too.
Yeah.
I hear it too, but it's not. Nobody's here.
That's strange.
Muted your mic.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah. What did you say?
Muted
the
your
host
mic.
has muted my mic.
I did. I was trying to figure out where it was coming from. I'm like, click, click. I'm like, who's this coming from? Okay. Yeah. See. Yeah, I muted it. Okay. Yeah, because it's coming from your phone, I think.
Well, then let me hang up and charge my phone's dying. That's why.
Okay. Well,
Bye,
if
I
we're
love
still
you.
here, If we're still
Love
here,
you.
come join us. But if not, I love you, Auntie.
I love you too. Nice meeting you.
Nice
Bye,
to meet
Ma.
you.
Bye-bye.
Mhm. Bye, Mom. Oh yeah, bye, Auntie. So we'll see what happens there. Anyways, what was I saying though? But yeah, Des. So the thing is that yeah, so it's about kind of creating like ideas of what you can teach people, and if we come from the point of view of I don't remember how any of that worked either, it can become an opportunity for us. This is what real entrepreneurship. Real entrepreneurship is saying what is it that people need? What are they looking for? What's the answers they're looking for? And then how do I fulfill that need?
I've thought about doing that actually, because the other day I was trying to explain to my kids what I do for a living. So Ray
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, like, Ray Anthony was asking me these questions, and I'm like, well, I got hired to do this, but basically I've learned over time. Like, my first job in the accounts payable department was cutting checks, like literally a check printer. That was all I did. Um, and then I'm I because I'm a nosy ass person, I tend to be the type of person that notices gaps.
Mm.
So like once I can see the big picture, I'm like, oh well, if you guys could change this here and change this here, the wheel would run a lot smoother. So then my next job was a little bit, I went from being the check cutter to the accounts payable coordinator in a matter of 2 years. And so then um, the position that I'm in now, I've noticed that again, because I'm nosy as hell, I'm like, oh, what do they do? Like, oh, what do they do? Oh, well, if this person did this job, it would make this job more efficient. And so Ray Anthony was like, why don't you do that? And I thought about it, and I'm like, I could literally be a consultant for companies and just be the type of person, like a gap filler. Like, I don't know what I would call myself, but
The gap
that's,
consultant.
yeah, really, like that's my niche. That's my thing. I can go into a company, or I can get into a department and be like, I can streamline processes. I can, you know what I mean? All these little things. And I'm like, I should totally do this shit for myself. Like, why am I still working for someone?
Well,
I love my
so
job. If my boss is watching, I love my job.
yeah. I mean, we all do love our jobs. Don't get us wrong. Like we all love our jobs. And the thing about it is that entrepreneurship is really it's a person that is kind of like here's how you know you're actually supposed to be an entrepreneur personally. How many times have you been fired from a job? You know what I mean? Or how many times have you quit from a job like the next day? You know what
The
I mean?
only job I ever got fired from, my cousin fired me. So sad.
Your own cousin fired you. No, that's a story. Oh
So
my
sad.
god.
That is a story, John.
I've been fired. I've been fired. Let me think how many times I've been fired. One, two. I was fired twice. I was fired
Fired
twice.
once.
Yeah, for both for being gay. I was fired twice for being gay.
Really?
So
I was fired about 3 times. That's because I stood up for abuse. I did not allow, like the last time I got fired from this particular job, I stood up for other people. They were being abused, and I stood up, and then they let me go.
yeah, that's
Wow.
it. This is how you
It's
know. This is how you
admirable,
know.
though.
Well, because when you stand up, when you're an entrepreneur, you're taking that position. You're saying, look, I figured out something and I know how to support you. I know how to take you from this level to this level.
Mhm.
And the thing about business ownership is this is what I like to say. Like Lee's, she's a CEO of her relationship company. I'm a CEO of my company. Actually, I've got 4 freaking companies now. I'm a CEO of all 4. Desiree, when you decide to go into business for yourself, you'll be a CEO. And a lot of entrepreneurs, we forget how important it is that we call ourselves the right title, which is a CEO.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing. Because we're constantly putting on different hats. Like this hat I'm wearing right now is the hat of marketing. It's the hat of talking with you guys and conversing. When I shut off the computer screen, I'll put on the worker bee hat because I still have a few things I have to do on the back end till tonight, right? And then like tomorrow, I'll put on another hat, and this will be manager hat because I'll be talking with Paige, and I'll be like, "So Paige, what happened yesterday? Since we only talked for like 10 minutes yesterday, so what all went down?" And so, like, there's all these different hats that we're always having to put on. And yet at the same time, we always got to wear the big hat, which is the marketing hat, which is the constantly communicating and telling people we freaking exist. So yeah, if you're going to be a consultant, here's what you want to consider. You want to consider who do you want to sleep with? So who it is you want to work with? Who is that ideal client you want to work with? And honestly, I found that asking that question, who do you want to sleep with, was a lot easier question than who's my ideal client, personally.
It is easier to answer.
It's easier to answer, exactly.
Yeah, and then you just translate that into the client. So anyways, so yeah, who do you want to sleep with? And then the second question that you want to ask yourself is what I do, is that in fact going to be a service that's truly needed? So what you can do is you can basically kind of, actually, I don't know. I'm not a marketing expert. I will admit to that. This is what I did personally. I held up my shingle on my wall, and I basically just started telling a whole bunch of people that I was in business for myself. I just told all my friends. I told all my family members. I told anybody and everybody. If I walked into a Starbucks, oops, they don't pay me to say their name. If I walked into a coffee shop and people would say, like, I would say, good morning. Oh, good morning. I'd like a cup of coffee. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. And then I would always ask them, it's like, how's your day? And they say, oh, just fine, and yours. And then I would always find a way to interject what I do. So I would say, like, oh gosh, the morning's getting started. I got to go back to the office and get these amazing taxes done. And they'd be like, well, what do you do? And then I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm a tax consultant. And then it opens up the conversation, because what happens is, yes, because I'm not necessarily trying to sleep with them. I'm trying to sleep with the people they know that have the businesses that need my services. Does that make sense?
All the while making them want to sleep with you.
All the while, baby.
It's genius.
That's awesome.
So, but you've always been in the business of you, John. You've always been that person who's been quick to be like, oh, this is what I do, and this is why it's volatile, or vital to society. And that is even down to like playing the violin. You know what I mean? Like busting the violin out at Thanksgiving. Like, this is what I do, and this is why it's important. See, don't you guys feel better after I played this long ass song from the Titanic? Like, that's always been your personality. So yes, this works for you, because I watched you grow. I remember like a couple of years ago, you talking about your business and you starting off with one employee and then 2 employees and then having now 4 companies. Like, it's amazing. But you are the best at being in the business of you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I love that. You are the best of being in business. And you are the best. What'd you say?
You are the best at being in the business of you. Put it on a shirt. Hashtag Desiree.
Oh my God, you have no idea. I'm typing that out
and
right
you're gonna have to
now.
You're gonna have to add me on another channel when I have 2 eyebrows and a beat face, because right now I look a mess. Okay, the quarantine is kicking my ass, y'all.
It is. By the way, I went ahead and put that in the comments. You are the best at being of the business of you.
In the business of you, yes.
Des, giving people credit is utterly important.
Say that shit loud.
Let me say it again.
Motherfuckers to share anything. Everybody will like and laugh, but nobody will share, and it blows my mind.
Yeah, you got to give credibility where credibility is.
It's because how we grow.
It's how we grow. Because you know what the most painful thing is when you see somebody in front of you that you respect and you admire, standing and using your words and then claiming it as theirs by not giving you credit in the moment they should have given you credit.
And there's no way for you to prove it either. That's another thing. And I've noticed that it's hard for people like to be in line. Like, when you compliment somebody on their shirt, they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, why is it hard for people to be like, girl, your ass looks good in those jeans? Like, why is it hard for us to do that in person? But we're so quick to do it on social media. You know what I mean? Like, that drives me nuts. I make it a point to make somebody smile, but even if it's something as simple as, bitch, I've seen that shirt 12 times at Walmart. That is such a nice shirt, baby. That is such a good shirt. It really goes with your eyes. Like, it's okay to do that, guys. It's okay.
It's like that's what got you on my show, because you say to your mom, nice shirt.
Yeah, she literally just stole that shit from my house.
Lise, what's your opinion?
What?
What's your opinion on the matter?
Which matter? Giving to people.
Giving compliments or the marketing technique of how
Or the
you did your
credit.
business, the credit issue.
The credit issue is a big one for me, absolutely. Because I've been a victim of people stealing an idea from me,
I
like
hate
an
that.
actual name of something I want. Like I wanted to call something by a particular name, and they stole that name.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very disheartening. I mean, it's extremely disheartening because I mean, when I was a teacher at one point, and I was an English teacher, and I would always stress to the kids, like, you have to give credit. If you're going to take a quote from somebody, you have to tell the world where you got it. Even if you paraphrase it, or even if you don't remember who it was, you could just say,
Yeah.
like, I heard it here or there, and you give due where due is due.
Yeah.
Give due where due is due. It's a valid point, Des, though. I mean, it is. And same thing with you, Lise. It is to have someone steal an idea from you, because that happened to me. And you're just like, what just happened? What did I just witness? And we got to share it. I mean, I always say to this day, I give credit to who? Lise. For what? For blessing my jacket. Like, I don't just go around and say, this jacket protects me all day long. Well, it protects me because Lise blessed it.
It's
So
important.
You look amazing.
it's like you, Des, saying you're the best at being of the business of you, Des. It's in the comment section. People know you said it. Or take, for example, the picture that you took of your boys for the Halloween costume thing that is everywhere on the internet.
Blown up. People use that as a sign. It was crazy, Jonathan. And I realized way too late that I had no ownership, no nothing. It's on shirts. People are selling my kids' pictures on their shirts. Somebody used it as a sign for their barbershop. And I have no rights to this picture that went viral. I have no rights to it. I can just like it every time I see it and be like, shout out to my kids. Like, and then get people who are in my family and be like, oh, those are my cousin. This is their mom at, Desiree. But yeah, it was a shitty way to learn a hard lesson because I could have taken ownership of that and I had no clue. I had no idea.
This is the unfortunate thing of the online world that we live in, and we have to ask ourselves that what is the protection that we can take, and unfortunately, it boils down to hiring attorneys to really protect your content, and we do things like trademarking, we do things like copywriting, and that takes investment, and unfortunately, when we put it onto Facebook, I think part of our user agreements with them is you say they are allowed to distribute it as they see fit.
It's they own the picture. As soon as you post it, they own it, and that's what happened. Facebook owns that photo.
Damn you, they own us.
And it's a good photo.
And it is what it is, right?
I have to let you guys go because my phone is about to die, and I don't want to say bye. I mean, I don't want to leave without saying bye. Lise, it was really, really nice meeting you.
Wonderful to see you.
I might call you if my boyfriend breaks up with me.
Okay. I will get you her number. Don't you worry.
Okay.
I actually
bye, John. I love you.
Assessment.
Oh yes, please. I need to be assessed.
She needs to be assessed. We'll hook you two up. Don't worry. We'll hook you two up. All right. Bye, Des. Love you. Bye. Oh my goodness. So it's been an hour and 42 minutes. I think we're breaking the record.
My computer says it's like red. I have like one red bar.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I think I want you back on my show. Because I think you brought up a really great comment, a really great point earlier about this whole relationship thing and love and sex and stuff like that. And this is a perfect platform. It's something I'm going through. It's something that many of us are going through. Yeah. And I want you back, Lise. So I think you should be my date. Okay. And we'll bring you back and let's talk about sex. And let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. All the good things. All right, so I'm going to put an end to this show. I'm going to put a cork in it. Mais après, peut-être demain soir, si vous voulez, nous pouvons revisiter ici dans my show.
Mais oui, demain, certainement. Demain.
OK. Sinon, le week-end, ça marche pour moi aussi. Demain soir, c'est bien pour toi?
Oui,
demain marche? Comme à 6h30 à peu près?
Oui, ça c'est ton temps?
C'est le même temps.
Oh, c'est le même temps. OK. Oui, OK.
Ouais.
Oui.
OK, cool. Et nous pouvons parler un petit en français et l'anglais, le deux idiomes. Et voilà. Et parce que, bon, comme tu sais, je parle français. Et je sais qu'il y a d'autres personnes qui me comprennent. Oh mon Dieu, Lise, c'était beaucoup de fois que je pratique français. Oh là là, c'est terrible.
Il faut
C'est
pratiquer.
pas bien.
Il faut
C'est
pratiquer.
pas bien.
Nous perdons ce que nous pratiquons pas.
C'est
We
ça.
lose what we don't practice, right?
C'est ça. That's exactly it. Yeah. C'est terrible. C'est terrible. C'est ça. C'est la seule chose que je peux dire. C'est ça. Mais je sais la même fois que si je parle pour 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes plus, le français se remet bien et je peux continuer à parler comme ça, exprimer mes émotions et tout
Ouais,
ça. Bon.
c'est
Bon,
bon.
Lise, merci beaucoup pour me voir mon émission tous les fois. J'adore. Et merci beaucoup pour regarder mes émissions tous les fois.
Mais je t'aime. Tu sais que je t'aime.
Je t'aime aussi.
Alors, je t'aime. Je m'ennuie de toi.
Merci beaucoup. OK, demain, si c'est demi, tu
Oui.
viens ici à mon show live et
Yes.
on peut discuter un petit peu d'anglais et français et on parlait de sexe.
Sex.
Sexe,
Toujours le sex.
sexe, sexe anglais et
Sex et
français,
amour.
le même mot. It's the same word. So, on va discuter le sexe, le relation, the relationships. Et voilà. So, tune in tomorrow to find out what Lise has to say about sex, baby. So, à demain.
À demain.
À la prochaine. Bonne nuit.
À demain.
Bon rêve. Oh, no,
Mm,
that's it, right? Good night.
I
Sweet
love you.
dreams.
Oui, c'est ça. Oui.
I love you. All right. Bonne
Bye.
nuit.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, look, we had a fantastic show just now with some amazing guests. I was with my aunt, my cousin. We were just gossiping and just having a gay old time. And then I brought Lise on, and she joined us last second, so to speak. Got on here, brought in some amazing points, and I want to bring her on. She's going to come on tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. We're going to talk about sex, relationships, and maybe taxes. And it's going to be another fun discussion. And quite honestly, I'm doing this because why? Because the opportunity has come. I remember as a young boy, someone said to me, when one door closes, another opens. If you'd like to be a guest on my show, let's get naked at nakedtaxtalk.com. If you are interested in maybe figuring out how we can help to take your company to the next level, be it tax planning, be it some advisory services, let's get naked at nakedtaxtalk.com. I'm Jonathan Bengal. If you're enjoying this show and you've enjoyed it so far, make sure to hit the subscribe button beneath and also hit the alert button as well here on YouTube. If you're seeing me on Facebook, make sure you find me on my Facebook page and also hit the like and the follow button. Until then, I'm Jonathan Bengal. Until tomorrow night, may you all have a safe and amazing evening. Au revoir, à demain. And it's ending now. Don't